So today once again we all are present with a new session based on one of the skills while we are speaking this foreign language with someone or somebody while speaking with us at the time. One of the greatest factors, the pronunciation. How shall I improve my pronunciation?
My common advice to all the students is that if that's a long word, break that word into small units and pronounce each unit as a word. Okay? For example, if you say that the word is very long, and then it is very difficult for you to pronounce, especially if it is a polysyllabic word. There are monosyllabic words also. Monosyllabic words cannot be broken into different units because they are monosyllabic. But when it is a polysyllabic word, you can break that word into small units and then pronounce. It will become easier for you. And to pronounce successfully correctly, it is very important for you to follow a standard dictionary. I advise, or I recommend rather, I recommend Oxford Dictionary, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, or Webster's Dictionary. If you are fond of American pronunciation, it is necessary for you to follow uh, Webster's Dictionary. There you will get the exact, correct, precise American pronunciation of a word. Though in a good dictionary of maybe any publisher, that doesn't matter. There you will see both the pronunciations are mentioned within brackets beside each word. So you may follow either according to your personal preference. So these days it has become a little easier. Earlier, when we were learners, we were learning English. It was really problematic for us. We had to depend entirely on the dictionary, and to interpret the pronunciation in the dictionary, it was very important for us to ask learned person, ask a person who knew English. But these days, you don't need to depend on anybody. If you want to know the exact correct pronunciation of a word, you may simply Google it, and you are going to hear the pronunciation on your cell phone or on your computer.
As the lexicon is going to help us, as the digital world is going to help us, but for a newcomer, for a rookie, how it's possible to understand the symbols of the phonetics?
Well, it is really very difficult for a beginner to understand the International Phonetic Alphabet. That's a different symbolic alphabet, in fact, and that is known as IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. That it is very necessary for you to learn categorically what those symbols mean or how these symbols are pronounced. If you do not know this, I think that it will be absolutely impossible for you to decode the pronunciation in a dictionary. So these days I told you that it is possible for you to know the exact pronunciation from Google. So if you type in that particular word and specially check the pronunciation, then you will see that somebody pronounces some authentic pronunciation you can hear, and you can simply follow that pronunciation. You don't need to learn International Phonetic Alphabet separately.
Okay, whenever I see a movie, whenever I see a program on TV or on YouTube, I found most of the times the speakers they use certain words, certain sentences in a different fashion, which is it is my means idea. I don't think so. It is included in dictionary or it is not included anywhere else. Such as they use it the word called "chenchi" now, whereas it is we pronounce "don't you know." So, what is the difference between these two?
That's not a question of pronunciation, rather that's more about the accent. So if you follow the American accent or the British accent, the accent is a little different from pronunciation. Pronunciation uh, you can learn, of course, without listening to a native speaker from simply dictionaries. But if you want to pick up the accent, say you want to pick up the American accent, so it is very important for you to listen to Americans speaking, and you have to follow them simply, no other way. Actually, in India, I have noticed I have been in this profession of teaching English for last 35 years, and I have come across a lot of students, and I have studied them categorically, case specific studies. And there I have seen that in India there is a common tendency of pronouncing certain words. Say for example, there is a double consonant in a particular word. In India, mostly the beginners tend to pronounce both the double consonant twice. For let me just give you an example to clarify the point. That is INNOCENT, innocent. But as there is double N, INNO, in India, the beginners have the tendency to pronounce innocent, innocent. In the same way, I have heard the beginners pronouncing immortal, immortal, IMMORTAL. That's why they pronounce it immortal, whereas they should pronounce it immortal. Though double M is there or double N is there, but you have to pronounce the letter once only. You have to pronounce M once only, you have to pronounce N once only. Double M is there or double N is there. That does not necessarily mean that you have to doubly pronounce that particular letter.
I am very much interested to know this particular fact. Rather, I have come across with a lot of people. Out of those people, there are some people, those who have the tendency to tell that there is a particular accent called Indian accent, whereas it, the lexicon says the American accent or the British accent. To some extent, between beside the words into the bracket, there are certain specific words of a country's name mentioned. So, like that, is there any accent called the Indian accent?
Of course, it is historically warranted. Why historically warranted? Because the British people, the English people, have ruled over us for 200 odd years. Therefore, they have left their legacy to us. And now, when, in our country, English is used as a second language mostly. And in case of the English medium students, English is their first language, though their mother tongue is a different one. Say somebody's mother tongue is Bengali or somebody's mother tongue is Hindi. But as they have studied at an English medium school, they have studied English as their first language. But still, MTI, mother tongue influence, must be there when you are speaking English. Because your mother tongue, when you pronounce the words of your mother tongue, of your vernacular tongue, then you pronounce them in a certain way, okay? So your tongue is shaped accordingly. Now, when you pronounce the English words, it is not so easy for us to anatomically change our tongue. So, very naturally, when we pronounce the English words, a little influence of our mother tongue is noticed there. And that is called MTI, mother tongue influence. Now, Indian accent, as you are asking about the Indian accent, to speak frankly, as in this country, most people speak English, most people. Irrespective of their educational qualifications. Now, in India, English is a link language. There are many languages, native languages of India, from state to state. If you go from West Bengal to Orissa, you will see the language gets changed. So, from Orissa, if you go to any state of the south, say Tamil Nadu, there you will see a different language is used. In Assam there is a different language. Now, as there are so many languages in our country, English works as a link language. So English is somewhat like our own language now, so it is just helping us to transact with the natives of this country. So if you communicate with Bengali in Bengal, it is necessary for you to know Bengali. If you speak Bengali, it is all right. If you don't speak Bengali, some people are there who can understand Hindi, of course, but still, English has a kind of glamour. So people generally prefer English. Now, for that reason only, Indian accent of the English language must be internationally accepted. I feel, at least.
Most of the cases we have found that the person may not be from English background. He has completed or she has completed his or her educational means background. Even sometimes they are from the Indian way, the Indian version they have completed, but their pronunciation is totally different. Is there any magic plays in case of certain people?
Different in which sense?
Different means the pronunciation. Whenever they speak, maybe they are not exactly from the English medium background they have completed, but they have completed ordinary Indian so-called Hindi medium or the Bengali medium. But whenever they speak English, it is not at all understandable that they are from which medium from.
Okay. It's a matter of practice. If you take English very sincerely and you are very serious about the English pronunciation, you will, of course, watch a lot of English movies and you will try to follow how they are speaking and you will try to imitate simply. If you are a good imitator, you will be able to speak English, pronounce English words successfully to a great extent, if not absolutely like the natives, but still it is possible for you to pronounce the English words to a great extent like the English people. It is no wonder, it's no surprise, because it's simply, if you practice, it's possible for you. After all, it's a language. And some rules, of course, will guide you, some rules will help you. So it is important for you to know those rules of pronunciation. Then there is very little possibility of making mistakes. For example, you just know there are two words, Q-U-I-T-E, quiet, and Q-U-I-E-T, quiet. Now, both the words are to a certain extent similar in pronunciation, with a fine difference, and this fine difference matters. You have to know, of course, how to pronounce these two words separately. Say Q-U-I-T-E, quiet. If you get a little confused as to how to pronounce quiet, try to remember a word which you know. For example, W-H-I-T-E, white. White, when you know white, this word is well known to everybody. So you know Q-U-I-T-E should rhyme with white. Quite white.
Which is known as rhyming words.
Yes. In the same way, Q-U-I-E-T, you are a bit confused. You do not understand whether you will pronounce it quiet or quiet. Then it is necessary for you to know another rhyming word. That is diet. D-I-E-T. Diet is a very common word in India, very often used by everybody. Whether the person speaks English or not, that doesn't matter. The word diet is very common. So Q-U-I-E-T, quiet, should rhyme with diet. As you pronounce diet, so you pronounce quiet. Then there will be no problem for you. You will be able to remember the pronunciation or the difference between these two words in their pronunciation throughout your life. If you do not know the rule, or if you do not follow any pattern, then it will be difficult for you. At times you will get a little confused. There are some homophones. Homophones in the sense, the words that are pronounced almost similarly with a little difference. For example, let, let, and late. In India, we pronounce both these words in the same way. Let. Let me do this, I'm late. But there is a fine difference. Let is let, simply let. Let. Late is not late. Late is late. Late. This fine difference you should practice. And if you practice this new nuance, this fine difference, delicate difference, then you will see that your English pronunciation will be spot on. This is what I feel, or at least I have followed. In India, actually, there are certain words which are pronounced commonly in a wrong way, like status. In India, everybody says status, your status, his status. But it is very important for us to know it's not status, it is status. Status, status. Though in America they pronounce it status, status, but not status. In India, we pronounce very often status. So there it is necessary for the students to know, no, you should not pronounce the word status. We should pronounce the word status. In the same way, data, not data. You should not say that database. Data is data, data. So if we know this, I think that when you speak English, you will have more confidence. And this, if your pronunciation is correct, and if you enjoy your pronunciation, then you will see that your English becomes a little standard.
Which one can be thumbs up?
Exactly.
So now we have shared already our opinion. So now let's see.
So in this context, let me tell our viewers, our friends, our family rather, that there are some words which are pronounced particularly not exactly the way in India we pronounce the words. For example, if AGE at the end of any word, you will notice AGE. Do not pronounce it age, but pronounce it age. Age. Okay? Not age, but age. For example, ADVANTAGE. Last three letters, AGE. So do not pronounce advantage, but advantage. Advantage. Soft E, very soft. Not advantage, not that, nor advantage. It is advantage. In the same way, MESSAG. Please send me a message. MESSAGE, not message. I will send you a message. No, not that. That is incorrect. So pronounce it message. AGE, last three letters, pronounce it age. But remember this point, that if that is not an English word, if it is a non-English word, but it is used in English, then this rule doesn't apply. For example, MASSAGE, last three letters, AGE, last three letters. But do not pronounce it massage. No, not that. It is massage. Why? Because this word originates in French. Therefore, it should not follow that English rule. The last three letters AGE, so I'm pronouncing it age, not that. So MESSAGE, message, this is an English word, message. Message. But MASSAGE, it's a French word, massage. Massage. Okay, so pronounce this way. These tips, if you remember, I think that to a certain extent you will be helped by these rules, and this video will help you to a certain extent. It is our belief, it is our expectation. If you see that you are benefiting from these videos which we upload on this particular channel, please communicate with us. Write down your comments in the comment box. Your comments will enrich us. Your comments will inspire us to make better videos. And if you do not communicate with us, we are also human beings, so we lack interest, And once, if the creator lacks interest, then the video quality will not be good at all. What do you think?
Definitely. And before going to sign it off for the day, we should give the reminder. Till now, those who are away from the subscribe our channel, so they must click the option called subscribe as early as possible.
On the right hand side below your video, you see there is a button subscribe. Okay, simply hit that button, and beside that the bell icon, hit that as well, so that all our notifications you get instantly. Thank you very much. See you again in the next session. Bye bye.